welcome everyone today. Andrew did some introductions before, but Madison, if you missed those, we've got Andrew Eddy joining us here as the Director of Untapped. We have Leslie, who's our Head of HR. And we've got Adam Easterbrook here, who's one of our General Managers, and I'm an autism spectrum coach, and I work with one of our teams here in Brisbane. So welcome everyone today. We wanted to firstly acknowledge the traditional owners upon the land that we meet today. It's important that we do that, and to also pay respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Wanted to share with everybody the mission of Untapped and talk, I guess, a little bit about ourselves. Andrew, would you like to do that? Would you like to talk to the vision? So sorry, there's a picture of you there. Would you like to share the mission?
I can't get the lips to move, but I'll say a few things. So yes, so we've been around for a few years. Started off originally with the idea of how do you create an autism-friendly university, but got into the area of working with companies on neurodiverse employment and trying to create a sustainable neurodiverse employment ecosystem where we involve employers and universities and other organisations to make this a reality. And so we work with a number of companies, including DXC Technology and some of the banks and some other companies on promoting putting these programs in place. And we also drive the Neurodiversity Hub initiative, which is trying to put in place a co-curricular program for students at university to help them see a pathway to university, help them get through university, and help them get work experience so that they have a better chance of getting a job. Thanks, Michelle.
Yeah, thank you. So that's, as Andrew very well put it, it's about finding talent and creating meaningful employment and career pathways for people on the spectrum. And so some of the autism at work activities, Untapped has been partnering with the Australian Federal Government and our Dandelion partners, supporting the Disability Employment Services Program. And some of those services that we provide is onboarding and recruitment activities. We have a range of ICT programs which provide 1 or 3 year traineeships for people with the diagnosis of autism that introduces them to technology employment. And that's been expanding. So it started off in the testing and development area. It's expanded into data analytics and cybersecurity. So there's many more ways in which that program can be expanded. And that program has been providing not only employment support for people in learning IT, but it's also supports people who are at university in finding different pathways for their education. There's the Neurodiversity Hub, which Andrew spoke about earlier, which is helping to transition individuals from school into university and then preparing them further for the outside working world. And I wanted to share this slide with you because we do this with all of our programs, and it's one of the ones that we like to share, and those of us that are involved in the program have seen it many times. But it's about stressing that autism is a neurobiological difference, but it's a difference. Oh, sorry, I'm moving things around. It's different, but it's not less. So I'm showing here a graphic of a neurotypical brain, which is on the right, and that neurotypical brain is thinking through a problem. On the left-hand side, you've got an autistic brain, and the autistic brain is thinking through the same problem or the same thought process through an MRI. And you can just see here the brain activation. And that brain activation in the autistic brain uses so many different parts of the brain. And so when we talk about the benefits of neurodiversity within the workplace, and we talk about the creativity that it gives and the different perspectives and the different thoughts of thinking, this particular graphic is very powerful in showing just exactly where that comes from with all of that brain activity. Our work experience program is something that is developing. it's been a little bit difficult to do some of the programs this year because we've all been not being able to go out and about in the world. But the work experience program is a way of providing people at university and also people in high school or those that are job seeking with real work experience to get an idea of what it's like to experience work currently in the IT environment. It provides an insight to modern software development techniques and framework, and it works with IT professionals within an actual working environment. Participants are given an opportunity to showcase their skills and their strengths, and they have access to people like myself, an autism consultant, who are there to address their individual needs.
I just want to add there that although most of the roles that we recruit for seem to be IT based, you don't have to have a degree in IT. Sometimes it helps depending on the discipline, and you don't have to have any prior experience either if you're interested in applying.
It's actually a really, really good point, because work experience programs are a really good way to try out an industry. Try it on for size, like we do when we're shopping for clothes. And
Absolutely.
With a lot of our guys, they're currently at university and they're studying part-time, and it gives them an opportunity to see, what can my degree do for me? You know, what's the useful application of my degree once I finish with my studies? And we have had some of the guys within our program that have started off in an IT environment and thought, I like this, but what else is there out for me? And then they've moved into other areas. So one of our guys is working now in finance, and he's working outside of a technical role and thriving and loving it, loving every second of it. And it wasn't that he didn't enjoy the software testing that he was doing before, but as an individual, he likes walking around a lot more, and he likes having personal interaction with others, in person. So that was something that he looked to do. So even though we talk a lot about ICT and it's kind of where we've started, there's so much application for the program, and certainly in years to come, there might be opportunities outside of that. And the slide again in front of us here talks about the world needing different minds, and it's a quote from Dr. Temple Grandin, who's one of the most famous autism advocates in the world. Temple is actually the photograph of the brain in the slide that I had before that shows all the autism activation. She's done wonderful things in studying and using herself as a participant in her studies. The world is different, and the world needs different minds to work together. And it shows us that without diversity and without divergence, then there's no progress. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful slide that we share. I sometimes use that as my email signature, just to get the point across. And I wanted to show this slide too, because we talk a lot about providing employment opportunities and also providing career pathways. And it's wonderful as an individual to get a little bit of a taste for what those jobs might be for you. But there's another side of it as well. And that side of it is about opening up the benefits to organisations for employing neurodiverse people. So we often think about it, oh, great, we're providing opportunities for individuals, but we're also providing enormous opportunities for organisations to bring in the talent that they previously didn't have access to. And these are some of the reasons why employees are so very happy with the individuals that they've received through the program. And this is information that has come from our clients. The employees on the spectrum are known for their attention to detail, their memory for facts and figures and processes. And individuals on the spectrum are known, or characteristically say exactly what they mean, and they mean exactly what they say. And in a work environment, and particularly as a leader in a work environment, it's so refreshing when you're working with people who actually say what they mean and ask questions that are directed to exactly what they want to know.